So whenever your mind gets caught, you get caught by something going on, just come back. Just let it go and come back to your body. It's very jumpy right now. We're all very jumpy. It's like the fire. All this stuff, this comes up, that comes up. I could do this, I could do this. I could do that, I could do that. What about these problems? What about? And it's very agitated and jumpy. And make room for it. Within your body, everything that's happening is actually within your body. It's not happening outside, actually. There's a beautiful saying from Hongzhi, the very great Caolun, master from China, from Chan, which is let the 10,000 things be. The problem lies within. Meaning, let the world be what it is, and let all the kerfuffle and all the chaos and all the impulsiveness in you happen. Let it all happen. As events within your body, and make your body big enough to hold the weather, to hold all the crackling and sparkling. It's almost as if your body is a universe. It is the universe. And within that universe, all these things are happening. And in one sense, they don't mean anything. On the other hand, it's what's happening. And you can be very easy with it, very peaceful. Meantime, you're freaking out. But it's not really you that's freaking out. There's this little freak out happening, this little star over there exploded. And then on the other side, this planet is kind of doing its thing. There's room for everything as long as you hold it within your body. There's so much room. It's not outside. Let the 10,000 things be, all the things in the world, let them be. There's no problem. And make room for whatever's going on with you. So the practice I taught yesterday is the way we do that. And once again, I want to just review that with you. It's Dogen, the founder of Zen, who was born in 1200, called it shikantaza. But this posture and this practice goes back a long time before him to the Caodong masters. Caodong is the Soto in China. It's a very, very ancient way to be in the practice of meditation. Very, very, very powerful and very beautiful. So number one is as we're just reviewing, is the straight back. Now the straight back means, it doesn't mean that if somebody's looking at you, they think you have a straight back, or if you look in the mirror. Straight back really means feeling the back line of your body from the inside. So we're going to do this. We're going to begin with our sacrum, and we're going to work our way up, and we're going to, by moving forward and backward and side to side, we're going to see where is it that the back line feels the most open and the most relaxed. So putting our attention in the sacrum, and as we did yesterday, having the intention, sending the message to the sacrum to relax. And it means moving. I like to say that meditation is a contact sport. It's physical. It's physical. It's very, very physical. And of course, physical becomes extraordinarily subtle, and then it resolves into energy, and then it resolves into space. So when we say physical, we're talking about that's where we begin. So feeling the sacrum, and you might need to adjust, move it a little bit and see. It's very surprising how tense that part of our body is, and we never even notice it until we have serious back problems. And then moving up to the top of the sacrum, where it joins the lumbar spine. In most people, there's a misalignment right there, even if you don't have any pain. So we're looking, how does the lumbar spine rise out of the sacrum in a way that is relaxed and balanced and open and aligned? As I was saying yesterday, the more we attend in this way, the more we develop the neurons and the neurological connections, so that we, from that point onward, we have that awareness. And then we can develop it further. And then moving up to the lumbar spine. So I want you to be moving internally in teeny little micro motions and exploring the alignment that you feel. Exploring where it feels tense, and then you move a tiny bit, and all of a sudden there's an opening and a sense of very subtle energetic freedom happens. And then coming up to the mid-back. And staying in touch, the mid-back needs to be in touch with the sacrum, so we're opening up it's really a channel of awareness that we're developing in Zen, in Hindu yoga, in Tibetan Buddhism. It's known as the central channel. So we're developing a corridor of awareness as we do this along our spine. And then coming up to the mid-back, And allow the rest of your body to organize itself around this work that we're doing. Relaxing, shoulders drop. The chest might lift a little bit more on the in-breath. And then coming up to the thoracic spine. We're working with a physical sensation and we're working with the feeling of tension as we did yesterday. We're relaxing. But then becoming aware that there's a kind of energy, very subtle sort of energetic aspect to the feel of the spine. We're not talking about Kundalini or anything like that. We're just talking about the feel of the spine. There's a kind of very subtle demeanor, energetic demeanor. It feels a certain way. And then coming up to the top of the spine, coming up through the cervical vertebra up to the back of the head. And then trying to be aware of that whole back line as one thing and making room for the energy. The interesting thing about awareness is if you're not aware of your body, then there's all these things happening, but they don't connect with you. And they, in fact, suffer. All the events of our body suffer if we're not aligned, tuned into what's going on. So being aware of the whole back line now, and a sense of opening and freeing its life. Up to the back of the head. And then having a sense of the top of the head. There's a little hook you could think of in the back part of the top of the head that is kind of either being pulled upward or rising upward on the in-breath. So on each in-breath, there's a sense of the back of the head lifting and the spine elongating. The spine filling itself out, opening, expanding. So our awareness is right along that back line right now. So point number one is the back is straight and long. And relaxed and open. Point number two is the back of the head is lifting with each in-breath. Point number three is the chin is down, which is, and it helps the back, the spine, the back line to lift more easily on the in-breath, and it helps the back of the head to rise. What we're doing here is we're making room for the natural energy of the back line. Instead of cramping it with our personal approach, we are letting go of ourselves enough so that the natural upflow of the life force is respected in us. Then point 4 is the back of the neck opens. So as the spine elongates, the head lifts, back of the head lifts, the chin is down, the back of the neck opens, back of the head opens. There's a certain cramped place at the base of the skull. It's how we stay small and shrunken. We need to relax that little cramped place. You can feel it. It's right, probably level with the upper teeth in the back. And we are opening the back of the neck, and we are opening the back of the head. And then point 5, which I didn't mention yesterday, is the ears are moving back toward being over the shoulders. Marpa, the translator, who was the founder of the Kagyu lineage, of whom Trungpa Rinpoche was a toku, he said, if you actually know how to sit down and meditate, if your posture is correct, you don't have to do anything else. And in his case, he was not exactly shrinking violet. He said, my teachings on the body are the best. We got them from Naropa, so it wasn't personal. He got them from this other guy. This weird sort of dropout. He said, my teachings of this lineage are the best. And if you know how to sit in the right way, that's it. You don't have to do anything else. And the great Taodong masters and Dogen said the same thing. Sit and be along the back line. Back of the head lifting, chin down. Back of the head, back of the neck open. Ears moving back. Constantly a sense that they're traveling backward to be over the shoulders. And in that way be in your body. That's Dogen. And people say, well, wait a minute, hold it. What are you talking? Are you just saying, like, just sit like that? What else do I do? And he said, you don't do anything else. That's what you do. So let's sit that way for a while now and explore what the posture means, and you can go through the 5 points if you want to. They're all one thing. They're all part of one process. But be along the back line as you're sitting. And you wait, 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 with a tremendous sense of curiosity. What is going to happen if I don't indulge my usual thing? What is going to happen if I don't entertain myself when I'm sitting by thinking about all this stuff? What's going to happen if I just sit and be in this way? So be awake, be alert, be present. And when your mind wanders, come back to the back line, come back to the spine, and just be. So this is very, very interesting what's going on with us. So be along your back line. And as we discover, the back line isn't really a line, it's a corridor of space that runs from the tailbone just in front of the spine all the way up to the back of the top of the head. You can explore that. It doesn't really have a definite shape. It's just this field of space. When we come to it, we're coming home. It's the only place in the universe we're ever going to feel home. When your mind wanders, you can have the idea that you're running away from home. Running away, and then you come back, then you run away, then you come back. And the strange thing about us is that although when we are home, the sense of openness and peace and vastness and freedom is so fulfilling, and yet we keep running away. What's that all about? The more we work with the posture, which is within the Taoism tradition, the whole thing, this pure awareness practice that happened in Tibet and China, the more we heighten the issue for ourselves. We have to totally heighten the issue by finding out what that home is somatically, coming into it, exploring it, coming back to it, surrendering into it, and then noticing how we constantly run. We're so afraid, we're so freaked out. What's that all about? this thing we're doing here is exactly what the Buddha did. He had this exact question. Somebody was asking, is this Buddhism? No, this is not Buddhism. This is the practice of the Buddha. It's different. It's more basic. You hold the mystery of the universe in your hands right now. The mystery of what a human being is and how it goes. And nobody else is going to find out but you. Everything is at stake. And everything's possible. We are here to look into and to solve the basic mystery of the human person. How strange we are. In our human life, we tend to run on automatic pilot almost all the time. Habitual patterns, impulse. And what we're learning here is how to be on duty, present, awake, curious, inquisitive about each moment of our life. It's a different approach. And we have to train ourselves because the default human thing is something really different. Automatic pilot. It's like the person who saves for their retirement account their whole entire life and everything is about retirement. You know, everything is sacrificed so they can have money in the bank when they retire. And then they can start to live. And of course what happens is they drop dead the day before they retire. And that actually happened to my father. The day before, he spent his whole life, it's all about, I'm going to live later. I'm going to sacrifice my human life so I can live later. And the message of this lineage is there is no later. So it's a huge relief for us to be here together and to actually address the issue together. What a relief. So we'll do some kinhin now. for about 15 minutes. And I just want to re-emphasize what Caroline said yesterday. Keen heen is the same thing as shikantaza, if we want to use that name for our sitting meditation. We could use that name out of respect to Suzuki Roshi and his venerable lineage. Keen heen's the same exact thing, only you're walking. It's an opportunity to come home to yourself in a way that you never do. And as Caroline was saying, when we do keen heen, I don't know if you noticed yesterday, but it's actually really hard. And it's really hard not to fall down when you're walking that slowly. Because when we do keen heen, it's the only time we move when we're not on automatic pilot. And we are present and awake and alert and curious. And we're just being in our body. So we're going to be talking, and heaven forbid we should talk too much about it. We should practice it. But we're going to be talking about it throughout this datum. It's the transition, again, as Caroline said, it's the transition, the link between sitting practice and bringing that same sense of presence, awake, and alert into our life. So we'll do that now for about 15 minutes. If you need to visit the restroom, that's fine, but consider this a very, very important part of the datum, this particular practice.